Hi there guys, these are third-party figures but they're based on Figuarts. On the left we got Time Vanguard and on the right we have Time Ranger. Now from the waist down they might look the same, but if you actually take a good look they're actually very different. The one on the right, the Super Saiyan 4 version, actually has thicker legs. Not to mention the pants are ripped, which allows you to see some of the fur underneath. The only thing they seem to share is the bottom half of the red outfit, but aside from that, it's pretty much different. Now, these figures are made by a company called Demoniacal. Now, I'm pretty new to third-party Dragon Ball figures, but so far, these two figures are very incredible. In fact, I would even go as far to say that these two are better than most of my official Dragon Ball figure arts. Alright, and now time for the accessories. Now what's interesting, Time Vanguard comes with the power pole, while Time Ranger comes with a blast effect piece. And if you count the cross arms as hands, they both come with 6 pairs of hands. Now personally, I prefer the power pole over the blast effect piece. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the faces. The autofocus on my camera is a little weird, so I'll try my best to give you a good look. By the way, if you're interested in buying these third-party figures, the best place to go would be to place like 5K Toys. That's where I got mine. I'll leave a link in the description just in case you guys want to see. Although be aware, once they sell out, your best bet to get it afterwards will be like AliExpress. So I just remembered, when it comes to the base form, I actually got that through AliExpress because it never came out on 5K Toys. And these are the ones for Time Ranger, which means it's the Super Saiyan 4, and they're easy to tell because they have the red around the eyes. Now, when it comes to these two figures, I gotta say, I'm a little surprised. I was expecting the base form to be the better action figure, but actually ended up being the Super Saiyan 4 version. Now, when it comes to articulating the arms, you gotta keep in mind of the shoulders, as that actually separates, which can break up the look of the figure. But it's easy to readjust once you rotate it a little bit. So just keep that in mind as you're articulating. Now to show you how far it can bend backwards. Now while going backwards is okay, going forward on the other hand, now that's pretty good. Now that bottom half of Goku's outfit, that's made of a really soft plastic, so you don't have to worry about it getting in the way. Although be aware, the bag of sensu beans that's in his front, that's actually detachable and it falls off pretty easily. Now this is very disappointing. I'm trying to get him to do the split, but the range is not very good. Although I think it might just be my copy, because if you look, the one of the legs is able to go further than the other one, which is pretty weird. Although to be honest, even if they both had the same range, it'd still be pretty bad. Now when it comes to the leg articulation, you pretty much get what you would expect with the figure arts. A pretty good knee bend and as well as articulation at the foot. And this is how far up his leg can go. And this is about as far back as I can get his leg to go. And as I stated before, be careful with the sensu bean bag. It's pretty small and it falls off pretty easily, so you might lose it. And as you can see, it uses a ball joint for the stomach and chest piece. This figure also has neck articulation. Unfortunately, it's very limited. In fact, it struggles to be able to look up, which is weird when compared to the Super Saiyan 4 version. Alright, now to show off Time Ranger, which is the better figure, and say the articulation is basically the same. And as you can see, it can do the splits way better than the other figure. By the way, have you guys seen Dragon Ball Daima? I don't know if this is a controversial thing to say, I don't really spend that much time on social media to be honest. Back when Super was airing, I pretty much was just waiting until they released on Blu-ray. But when it came to Dragon Ball Daima, I was pretty much watching every episode as soon as possible. Like, I really enjoyed that show way more than Super. I really hope we get a Figuarts Super Saiyan 4 Goku for Dragon Ball Daima. Unfortunately, right now the only one that's available is the kid version, which I'm not really that interested. Now I forgot to mention this, but the other figure, the base form, that actually does have butterfly joints, but you can't really see it because of the shoulder piece. And just to let you guys know, I will be reviewing all the Dragon Ball Daima figures for the Figuarts line, except for the minis, the ones when they're like little kids. Those are the only figures I'm gonna be skipping. They don't really interest me, to be honest. Now, what I find very interesting is that despite how big the hair is and how bulky it is, it's actually able to look up and down way better than the base form. Not to mention the neck articulation is way better as it actually has greater range. And lastly, the tail. As you can see, it's on a ball joint, so it can rotate in any position you want. Now, when it comes to both figures, neither one of them has any shading on them. But with Time Ranger being a Super Saiyan 4 version, they actually do have fur sculpted all over the red part of his upper body. Now, you've probably noticed when it comes to the bottom half of the red outfit, the Super Saiyan 4 version is more battle damage. Alright, and now it's time for the comparisons. Now here we got both figures side by side. And be aware that the two figures I'm about to put are also third-party figures. These were made by Beast Deities. They're called Jade Rabbits, aka Zeno Vegeta. Now these figures right here are the main reason I finally got into third-party figures for Dragon Ball. When it comes to different versions of Goku and Vegeta, the Zeno versions are easily my favorite, and that's why I got these, as I don't think we're ever gonna get official versions from Figuarts. Unfortunately, they always stick to the anime and manga and the movies. The only figure that I can think of that doesn't fit that rule would have to be Android 21, which I do own. By the way, there's also going to be a third-party company called Red Bolt Studios. They're going to be making alternate hair for this Vegeta that will make it look like Super Saiyan 3 from Dragon Ball Daima. But unfortunately, it already sold out. Your best bet to get it is through AliExpress. Honestly, when it comes to my personal display, I always put the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta right in the front. These two are easily the highlight of my Dragon Ball collection. Alright, and now let's compare them to some Hasbro figures. Here is Lightning Collection Red Turbo Ranger and Marvel Legends Black Suit Spider-Man. And here's the Jedi Toys Street Fighter Guile, and as well as my previously reviewed Cammy figure. And lastly, the Figuarts Kamen Rider Saber with the Figure Rise Kamen Rider 01 model kit. And thank you for watching my video, and if you can, please like and subscribe. I'll be making more reviews soon, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.